Have you ever stopped to think that a few words from Steve Kerr could ripple through the NBA like a seismic wave? What if his praise for Greg Popovich isn't just courtesy, it's a coded message about where the Warriors stand in the ever-shifting coaching hierarchy? Could a simple shout-out mask deeper strategy, signaling alliances, or even foreshadowing a future coaching chess match between two of the game's greatest minds? Welcome back to Warriors News Fan Report. Today we're unpacking a revelation that's got every diehard in the Bay Area buzzing. Steve Kerr's unexpected ode to Greg Popovich. Smash that like button, subscribe to Warriors News Fan Report, and ring the bell so you never miss a moment of the action. Imagine this. During a recent sideline interview, Kerr, our philosophical sideline general, paused mid-season to call Popovich one of the best ever and lauded his consistency, adaptability, and play-of-first philosophy. On the surface, it reads like coach-to-coach respect, but when a Warriors leader publicly elevates the Spurs legend, fans start to wonder, what's really brewing in the background of Golden State's locker room? Is it pure admiration, or is Kerr signaling a subtle shift in the franchise's own blueprint? Let's rewind to Kerr's coaching DNA. He cut his teeth under Popovich in San Antonio, absorbing the art of load management, defensive versatility, and generational trust-building principles that powered 5 Spurs rings. Kerr has cited Pop as his mentor, yet now, at the helm for Golden State championships, he's taken that reverence to a new level. Could this public homage be Kerr's way of reminding the NBA of his coaching pedigree, subtly challenging doubters who question his legacy next to Pop's towering resume? Statistically speaking, Popovich's Spurs never missed the playoffs between 1998 and 2019, crafted a 1,434-694 regular season record, and maintained a culture that prioritized unselfishness and adaptability. Kerr's Warriors, by contrast, rode a super-duper star corridor for titles in 8 years, but have faced criticism for recent playoff exits and perceived defensive lapses. Is Kerr invoking Pop's consistency to underscore a renewed commitment to defense and discipline? Could this mean we'll see a sharper, more systematic Warriors unit this season, one that mirrors the Spurs' methodical excellence? Take the analytics. Golden State surrendered 115.3 points per 100 possessions, last postseason 17th in the league, while San Antonio under Popovich in his final full year allowed just 108.4 points per 100 possessions, ranking top 5. Some insiders believe Kerr's nod to Pop is a prelude to implementing tougher defensive metrics in practice, prioritizing rotations that echo the Spurs' legendary help defense schemes. Is it possible that Kerr has quietly revamped his coaching staff, adding veteran assistants with Spurs ties to instill that defensive DNA beyond X's and O's? The human element looms large. Popovich is renowned for his candid player relationships. He once benched stars for a game to teach a lesson, then had dinner with them afterward. Kerr, too, is a master communicator. But has Golden State ever witnessed him take such a bold public position on leadership style? Fans are wondering if Kerr's praise is an olive branch toward veteran skeptics in the locker room, a reminder that winning isn't just about splashy offense, but about trust, accountability, and culture. Rival reactions only deepen the intrigue. Across the Bay in L.A., Lakers beat writers noted that Rick Carlisle, another Popovich disciple, might be angling for Kerr's system secrets over in Phoenix. Insider chatter suggests Monty Williams is watching Kerr's moves closely, curious whether Golden State will adopt more Spurs-style load management to preserve Curry's legs for a deep playoff run. Could this tribute to Popovich be Kerr's way of signaling to rival coaches, "You want my secrets? Look at my mentor's playbook"? Fans on social media have erupted. One Twitter handle called Dub Nishandieri mused, "Kerr paying homage to Pop is cute, but will it translate to better defense or just be another soundbite?" Meanwhile, a Reddit thread on our Warriors lit up with debate. Is Steve setting us up for a culture shift, or is he just being a super fan? Either way, I'm intrigued. Even former Warrior Andre Iguodala, in a cryptic Instagram story, reposted a Kerr Popovich clip with the caption, "Legends never stop teaching," fueling speculation that Kerr's alignment with Pop is about more than nostalgia. It's a roadmap. Historically, coach-to-coach tributes have preceded strategic shifts. Remember when Greg praised Pat Riley's leadership under pressure, just before the Spurs retooled their rotation to emphasize veteran poise? Or when Doc Rivers hailed Phil Jackson's Zen approach right before implementing mindfulness sessions in Philadelphia? Could Kerr's recognition of Pop's virtues signal a similar pivot in Oakland, one that blends Zen like a fence with Spurs-style grit? And what does this mean for the players? Draymond Green, known for his defensive intensity, thrives under tough love. Might we see him assume an extended leadership role, enforcing the new culture Kerr hints at? Could Klay Thompson, an offense-first maestro, be encouraged to embrace more off-ball movement in set plays, reminiscent of the Spurs' motion system? And what of the rising talents Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody? Will they be deputized as the next generation of culture enforcers, learning directly from Kerr's public idolization of Pop's methods? But let's not forget the grand narrative. The coaching titans, once mentor and mentee, now stand at different dynastic peaks. Kerr's Warriors have dazzled with pace and space. Pop's Spurs define the gold standard of team basketball. Now, with Kerr publicly singing Pop's praises, we might be witnessing a convergence of fusion of styles that could redefine how the modern NBA champions are built. Could this be the moment when Golden State's offense meets Spurs-level precision on both ends? Fans are wondering if the next Warriors era will be less about singular brilliance and more about collective mastery. But what do you think about all of this, personally? As a Warriors supporter, I believe Steve Kerr's tribute to Popovich is the ignition spark for a transformative Chapter 1 where respect for the past fuels reinvention. For the future, I can't wait to read your thoughts in the comments below. Ride in the wave with me, smash that like button, subscribe to Warriors News Fan Report, and ring the bell so you're first in line for every splashy update in blue and gold. We left off with Bryce Williams lighting up that pre-draft workout, raining corner threes and gliding through defensive drills like he'd been wearing a Warriors jersey since birth. Now, the question on every Dub Nation mind is, what comes next? Could this workout invitation evolve into a guaranteed contract that cements Williams' place on the roster? Or is it merely the opening act in a larger draft night drama? Let's dive deep into the possibilities, and trust me, there's plenty to unpack. First, imagine the Summer League stage. If Bryce steps onto that court under the bright lights of Las Vegas and replicates his Nebraska form, dropping 20 points on 6 of -10 threes, snagging rebounds on both ends, and showing that switchable defense the front office faces a crossroads. Do they cash in on his surge by committing a mid-first round pick to lock him in, or trot him out on a two-way deal to hedge their bets? History suggests Golden State won't hesitate. Remember how they converted Moses Moody's stellar summer performance into guaranteed money and rotation minutes? If Williams mirrors that pathway, he could be in Warriors blue before the end of July, ink drying on the dotted line. But let's not skate past the roster implications. The Warriors bench last season struggled to sustain leads when Curry and Thompson sat, hovering near the league's bottom in plus-minus. With Bryce in the mix, we suddenly have a lethal scoring spark and defensive versatility off the pine. Picture this: Kerr rolls out rolling lineups with Curry orchestrating up top, Williams patrolling the wing, Kuminga operating in the small ball for slot, and Poole or even Bronny James coming off screens. Could this mean late-game stretches where opponents can't cheat toward the paint without risking an open Williams triple? Is it possible that this single addition solves spacing woes more effectively than any midseason trade Band-Aid? On the defensive end, Williams' 6'7" frame and near 7-foot wingspan bring switching potential galore. The Warriors love switching screens, relying on quick rotations to stifle penetration. If Bryce can hold his own against opposing wings cutting off driving lanes, contesting threes without fouling, and then sprinting back in transition, that rotation becomes less vulnerable to pick-and-roll attacks. Imagine protecting a 10-point lead with Williams on Doncic, Kuminga on Giannis, and Green anchoring the defense. Fans are wondering if this could be the turning point in late-game defensive identity. But let's temper the hype with realism. Rookies encounter growing pains, adjusting to NBA speed, deciphering intricate defensive schemes, and shouldering the mental weight of pro expectations. Bars near Chase Center will buzz with debates. Will Williams sustain his confidence when corner threes shrink against veteran defenses? Will he attack closeouts with the same ferocity once the ball moves quicker and bodies are stronger? Some insiders believe that if he struggles early, Kerr will stash him in Dub's defensive labs, pairing him with coaches like Mike Brown to refine footwork and decision-making. That tutelage could accelerate his adaptation, turning a shaky start into a midseason breakout. Now, let's turn our gaze to internal competition. Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody, both lottery picks with promising upside, will see their roles recalibrated. Kuminga thrived as a slasher and defensive disruptor, but if Williams claims wing minutes, Jonathan might shift to more for spot duties, pushing him to develop post moves and toughness against bigger opponents. This positional shuffle could free up Kuminga's slashing game, giving him more space to attack closeouts without clogging the baseline. For Moody, who oscillated between scoring bursts and shooting slumps, Williams' corner threat could relieve pressure spotting up when defenses collapse on Kuminga. And Curry, could this mean Moody's catch-and-shoot percentage rockets back into the low 40s, transforming him into a reliable floor spacer? And what of Bronny James? The rookie whirlwind from USC is already generating viral buzz, but it's unclear whether his route to regular minutes will be paved by his lineage or his skill. With Williams and Moody entrenched as rotational wings, Bronny might see fewer garbage time reps, forcing him to hone its skills, perhaps focusing on defensive IQ and hustle plays. Yet, fans are wondering if this crucible could mold LeBron's son into a uniquely gritty piece. For Kerr's lineup, imagine Bronny carving out a reputation as the glue guy who dives for loose balls and hounds opposing ball handlers. Is it possible that his growth stems more from adversity than from headlines? Across the NBA, rival front offices have taken note. In Denver, Michael Malone's Nuggets recalibrate playbooks when a new Warriors wing arrives. They thrive on exploiting perimeter lapses last season, but a Williams insertion complicates things. His length disrupts passing angles, and his corner threat splits defenses. Could this mean Jokic sees fewer free drives to the rim, forced instead to orchestrate more pick-and-rolls under duress? Over in Oklahoma City, the Thunder, who rely on quick-hitting transition attacks, must scout Williams' recovery speed and closing ability. If he can rotate from rim to corner in under 4 seconds, that blunts OKC's fast break edge. Meanwhile, Clippers and Lakers loyalists are concocting their own defensive blueprints. Les alley-oop heavy schemes bank on creating mismatches, throw the ball above the rim, and exploit the paint. But a versatile wing who can switch on Paul George and still drag a step back three introduces a new challenge. Reports suggest Clippers execs are debating whether to prioritize defensive wing signings or double down on their core, betting they can contain Williams through pressure tactics. Some insiders believe that the presence of Williams alone will force rival G-Miz to rethink offseason priorities, pushing perimeter defense to the top of draft boards league-wide. Playoff implications are even more tantalizing. In a 7-game series, bench contributions often decide closeouts. Consider Game 5 at home. After Curry shoulders 45 minutes, Kerr turns to a uni featuring Williams, Kuminga, and Looney. With the crowd roaring, Williams drains a back-to-back three, swinging momentum and deflating opponents. That single shot born from a pre-draft workout invite could echo through banners that hang from the rafters. A decade from now, is it possible that Bryce's emergence becomes as pivotal as Iguodala's underdog finals run in 2015? The strategic vision extends beyond one season. Warriors ownership has long preached sustainability. Draft and develop over splurging on free agents. Williams' successful integration would reinforce that ethos, signaling to prospects that Golden State remains the premier incubator for young talent. Future workouts might swell with hopefuls chasing Williams' path, creating a conveyor belt of high IQ, versatile wings ready to don the blue and gold. Fans are wondering if this could be the turning point when the league accepts that the Warriors' small market model thrives on talent cultivation rather than ink-stain checks. Of course, every hypothesis rests on vital variables: Williams' medical durability, his mental resilience, and Kerr's schematic innovations. We're talking about a 21-year-old stepping into one of the league's brightest spotlights, expected to contribute immediately. But if there's one thing Dub Nation understands, it's faith in processes honed over championship cycles, the synergy of coaching genius, sports science, and organizational culture. Could this mean the Warriors once again redefine how modern dynasties are built, weaving rookies like Williams into legacy narratives as rumors swirl and speculation mounts? One certainty prevails: the Bay Area's basketball heartbeat will quicken with every update on Bryce Williams. From gym whispers to social media storm clouds to draft night podiums, we'll be there analyzing every shot, every screen, every contract detail. And when Williams finally steps onto the Chase Center court in Game 1, we'll know whether this summer's gamble paid off or if a new chapter of swirling questions begins. Is this rookie infusion bold enough to reignite a dynasty and write the next Golden State legend? Personally, as a ride-or-die member of Dub Nation, I believe that Bryce Williams has the potential to become the X factor who bridges past glory and future greatness if he seizes every opportunity, trusts the process, and thrives under the Bay's unrelenting spotlight. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to hit that like button, share your thoughts, and subscribe to Warriors News Fan Report so you never miss another explosive update.